This is Figured Out Podcast, episode 25, with me, Steven, and Afaya, aka Duels.
Hello.
First, tonight we're going to start off talking about how the Donald Trump administration just cut the last $200 million in aid to the Palestinians that they're going to spend this fiscal year, and why, whether or not that's a good idea, or whether or not we agree with it at least. So he apparently a lot of this tension between the Trump administration and the Palestinians started when Donald Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital, and he even suspended aid money going to them earlier this year before he finally just cut it all together recently.
Yeah, which, I mean, come on. It's always been their capital. Like, if you don't believe that, then you believe Hamas. Like, let's get real about it.
Right.
And
that's been an issue with almost every presidency, is recognizing Jerusalem, and Trump's been the first one to do it.
yeah, because everybody's just been so afraid. And the thing about it is, and before both elections, like, Obama said he was going to do that, and then just always pussied out about it. You know?
Right.
And instead, he was like, by the freaking plane loads, just sending them all this fucking cash, as if that was going to stop the terrorists. Like, oh yeah, hey guys, well, if you be nice, we'll give you all this cash. Oh yeah, sure. Like, I mean.
Right. I mean, I'll be nice for rich cash too.
Yeah, because like they didn't still like pop up ISIS and everything, and like keep trying to attack the Israeli border and everything, you know. So
yeah. So somebody's finally doing something that, you know, drawing the line. You know, saying, hey, we're not going to be putting up together shit anymore. If this is how you're going to be, we don't have to help you at all. Not only that, part of Trump's problem with the whole thing was we were spending way more money on Palestinian aid than the rest of the UN. Like, nobody else was pitching it. It was just us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when we're the only one fronting the bill, it's probably time to get out, like, because we're getting taken advantage of.
Like, we already owe China billions of dollars. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, no one wants to end up in a foot race with China. They got too many people, man. They just dump it. Like,
right. Yeah. And then like, what if the rest of the UN does start pitching? We're maybe more I don't know, like, we keep a better eye on them after we do, like, we make sure that the money is going to the right place and whatnot. I don't know if there's any way to govern that or police that in any way.
Well, the UN, I mean, what do they even do anymore? No, I'm just talking shit. I mean, NATO strikes in Libya? Like, come on. Where's the outrage, people?
Well, I don't understand, why, like I said, we're in a huge debt. Why are we sending $200 million to these people anyways? I feel like we need that money more than they do.
But debt or not, my thing is, like, funding terrorists is not a deterrent.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're ran by Hamas right now. Hamas is their elected leaders, and they scream death to America. So why would we be getting money?
Do you like us now? Do you like us now?
Yeah.
Do you like us now?
I'm pretty sure once someone gets to the "I want to kill you" stage, like, money isn't really the option.
Too late. We're past that.
Yeah, money and talking kind of went out the window.
Oh, but then I don't know. What about next year? Or does anybody be pushing back on Donald Trump to be getting them their aid money again, or could we maybe just let that go? Forget about that.
No, I think he drew the line in the sand, and so now it's gonna have to be dropped. You know, it won't. I don't think they'll really bring that one back up until there's a new president. So I think for now, like that's pretty much struck as a win for us.
I'll take it. Yeah, it's about time somebody did something different out there because obviously what we've been doing hasn't been working.
Yeah. So yeah, until we get, until the leadership changes again, like yeah, that's a win there. Like keep them defunded and
right.
then yeah, like what I mean, I don't want a useless war over there with them all of a sudden now having all this cash for their missiles again and all that. Like, just cut their funding. Don't fuck with them. Like, let them be chickens running around with their heads cut off. Like, that's it, Just don't give them money. Stay out of the Middle East. Like, we're good.
Right. I'm sure we could do several episodes just about stuff that our government wastes our money on. That I feel like we could go on about that for a while. Just going through it account by account.
Israel does a good job at defending themselves anyway. And a beautiful thing that I saw in regards to that is they had actually I forget the name of the program, but they had started this program where they're just helping out the Palestinians, just kind of turning the other cheek and helping them with like irrigation and farming and water and stuff. So I mean, and that was like not long after the whole border attack thing,
Mm-hmm.
So and that wasn't really like reported on, like I think really at all by the mainstream media. So,
yeah.
I mean,
well, if it's something that, like, especially if it's something that benefits somebody they don't want to benefit, they're not going to talk about it.
Right. Israel did something good? No, couldn't be. Yeah, so I mean, I think Israel is handling it fine, and like, so yeah. For the meantime, unless something catastrophic really happens, I think we're good there for now with that.
Yeah. No, I agree that Israel's fine, or at least should be all right. I feel like they should be able to handle themselves for a while. As you said, they do have a decent defense. So
yeah.
But I mean, that's not necessarily who the aid was going to either. As far as like for all the Palestinians, I mean, a lot of that wasn't even going to Israel.
No, I'm saying a lot of it was going to, on the Palestinian side.
Yeah. So.
What I'm saying is, Israel could handle the Palestinian situation for now, like until hopefully not though, something catastrophic happens.
Well, without our aid, they don't have too much to go off as far as like any other sources of income or anything like that either. So anything that'll just make them weaker.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that like
Israel should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanna attack and people are like, then they gotta fund it themselves.
Right. I mean, it could be right back over there. We all always have military out there, anyways. But
yeah. So I mean, if need, we'll be there in the drop of a dime. So
for sure. So how about one of your stories?
Well, speaking of politicization shit, how about that Molly Tibbetts? Rest in peace. Yeah, so basically, sadly, she was killed by an illegal alien, and Trump stated as such, like, oh, this is heartbreaking. Molly Tibbetts was like killed by an illegal alien. Like, those are the facts. It was an illegal alien who killed her. Like, and then of course the mainstream media had to like roll away with it and be like, oh, like they're politicizing this death and da da da. It's like, no, like that's just what it is. Like it, I mean, this wasn't a, because they want to build that thing, but they built the rhetoric to like, oh, this is more so that we can have to build a wall and everything else. But none of that was really going on. Even like the family didn't say anything pro or con about like Trump. None of that was out. They're just like, we're grieving for her, and we don't really have any words for it right now. We're just grieving our loss.
Right.
Like, so, yeah, hearts out to them because, and yeah, but it wasn't really a story until then. Everyone took what Trump said and, oh, they're politicizing it this way. And so then, of course, then there's all the backlash. And then, so, of course, obviously that's a politicization.
Well, that's upsetting in a way, though, because they pick and choose their stories that they choose to use to defend or to fight against Trump's immigration stance. And like they'll say like, oh, this guy, like there's a guy just got arrested for being an illegal alien while he was on his way to the hospital with his wife for her to have a baby. And but what they failed to mention was that he was a murder suspect in Mexico. And that's why they arrested him when they found him. They caught him at a gas station on the way to the hospital.
Yeah, that's the thing. All these like half-truth media stories that spin everybody up in a frenzy,
But then Donald Trump uses one example of his own, and everybody flips out.
Right. But the thing is, like, he didn't say like, this is why we need to stronger immigration or stuff. Really, at first, like, that kind of came after all the backlash, and the thing is, like, if like the whole back and forth, like, then all that drama became on Twitter, and then it was like Tibbetts' second cousin stated that she had a problem with politicization of the issue, but her real retorts were just other people on Twitter politicizing it, which all that wouldn't have started in the first place if CNN and Today and all those media sources didn't stir up this controversy in the first place. It could have just been Trump stated that this was a sad loss. Like I don't. It didn't have to be anything more than that, in the realm of it getting politicized.
For sure. Yeah, but as soon as it touches a topic like illegal immigration, then it gets blown up. But sorry, I thought you were gonna say
something. But yeah, so just hearts out to the Tibbetts family, and on the flip side of things, because like in there, in those issues, I think we're kind of doing what's right, but on one problem I have, and it's funny, like I feel like a lot of you know, people who are like politicized on the right try to bring it like always like Venezuela as like, you know, the failed example of, you know, like socialism.
Hmm.
But the thing, the whole thing with Venezuela that people always leave out is its whole, you know, like the U.S., you know, running to make a coup there, and the whole, uh, you know, trying for regime changes and stuff. Like that really had a huge deal to do with, you know,
They
Venezuela.
they didn't really have much of a chance to succeed.
Yeah,
Um,
because before all that, they were actually doing fine, you know.
mhm.
It wasn't really until the U.S. got involved and, you know, started messing with them.
You know, they get the wrong people in power and whatnot, and things just fall apart.
Yeah, and that's not like, you know, that's not like, you know, some upholding of socialism or anything either. But you know, call a spade a spade. You know, like it wasn't
Right.
like that wasn't really the issue that, you know,
Mhm.
of Venezuela. Yeah, I think socialism is you know, always goes corrupt pretty quick, but no, like their story was completely different. And so now with that, the reason I wanted to address that is because basically I was reading about how the US's sanctions for there are like, basically some of the greatest sanctions that we've put on a country since like the 80s. You know,
Yeah, I read that recently too.
yeah,
Um, well, that kind of touches into one of your other topics too, doesn't it? Because didn't
um,
that have to do with the whatchamacallit files that?
yeah. So I'm a big fan of Abby Martin, and you know she is the journalist and host of the Empire Files.
Empire
So
Files.
yeah, by the way, so yeah, shout out for that. You know, if you haven't seen that show, they're ending, so go check out, you know, the videos that you can, um, because you know basically them being based out of there for a lot of their operations,
Mm.
they're not really able. They basically stopped being able to get funding because of
Right.
the sanctions there.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, that's what I
so
was reading.
yeah, yeah. What'd you think about that? Like Abby's show, like basically really having to be canceled because of the sanctions. Like that's how strong they are. Like nothing can in Venezuela can grow right now.
Was there? Yeah, I mean that's kind of crazy to think about. You know, you'd think there'd be some sort of loophole or some way around it. But couldn't she just move like out of Venezuela? Like
No,
from all
well, the thing is the show is on the network Telesur.
right.
Um, and yeah, and that's where Telesur is based. I think that's how the story went.
I see.
So
That makes more
so it's
sense.
not yeah, it's not her necessarily, but it's the network.
So she'd have to find a whole new network to work with in a different country somewhere, and then start getting the funding again to get going again.
Right.
Sounds like a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's trying for some loophole holes, like, you know, funding the money, you know, another way. I think they said that they're having you know, like one of those GoFundMe's or something. So
Hmm.
if y'all listening are interested, check out the yeah, just search up the GoFundMe for Empire Files. Um,
Yeah. If you don't know the show and you're not sure if you want to help out or not, you know, go check it out. You know where it could be watched at now? Is it on YouTube or anything like that?
yeah, it's on YouTube.
All right. Uh,
Um, Yeah, and also kind of funny tying back to our first story, because like they want to get the funding too, because they had they had a bunch of footage from for the Palestinian stuff that going on, like on the Gaza Strip, even also and stuff, and yeah. So knowing Empire Files, it's probably some like right in the action, intense stuff, and that the Palestinian situation is super relevant right now. So if they could get that funding, then could get that footage out, and it's probably really relevant and really important stuff for our time right now. So
All right. Well, yep. Never a dull moment on the Gaza Strip.
yeah.
But yeah, no, like it sounds like she had something kind of innovative and new, like as far as what she was doing for news, and it kind of got taken away from her.
Yeah, man. Props to Abby Martin. Man. She's a really tenacious journalist. I think she's done some stuff that really other people haven't touched on at all.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, just
got a lot of respect for her.
Anybody can go into a battlefield and record it. Pull out your gun, you pull out your camera. It's pretty intense right there.
Right. Yeah, like literally putting your life on the line for a story.
Yeah, that's nuts. You gotta give me a lot of money to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, is it you're gonna have to pay me some of that Palestinian money?
Right. I know you got it, Trump. Where's that 200? All I need to cut. I just need a cut of it. But yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know too much about Abby Martin before this either. I started reading on her, and I have yet to watch the what was it called?
Empire Files.
Empire Files.
Yeah.
I have yet to watch any episodes of that, but I will look into that here. I go on YouTube all the time, just look for random videos.
Yeah, I mean, and she hits a whole range of topics, so one of them's going to be bound to catch your interest,
For sure.
Bouncing back to one of your stories.
Yeah. I don't know how many of our viewers have been keeping up with Louis C.K., but he recently got in a lot of trouble for masturbating in front of women without their permission. Well, basically forcing them to watch him masturbate.
Shame, Louis, shame.
Yeah. I know you're famous, but
I do one finger off, but like I'm holding the phone in the other hand.
Yeah, we don't do that. No matter how big our celebrity is, just don't masturbate in front of women. Get their permission first. Make sure it's okay, then whip it out. Otherwise, you're gonna end up shunned from your comedy community, and it's gonna be difficult to get back. But he recently tried to get back into some stand-up. He went to a local comedy club here recently, or I guess there, probably out in New York. I don't remember which club it was, but it was a popular place. Had probably 200 seats filled in there, and he came on, did a part of a show for free, like open mic night sort of thing, and a lot of the crowd didn't appreciate that. a lot of people in the crowd were offended that Louis C.K. thought it was okay for him to just force them to watch his show or whatever. So
I mean, they can always leave.
right. So that turned into a thing on the internet. Everybody's tweeting about it, talking shit. And then
it's a free show. Like, what do you have to? I mean, if you don't make them leave, like it's no money lost.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the time that you go to the bar and you grab another drink, and then by the time you get that drink, you can come back and his show's probably up. You know, they only do like 10, 15 minutes on there, I think, at the most. So, you know, go take a walk, come back. So he got a lot of shit for that, and he didn't make any money off of it or anything like that. Like I say, he did it for free. And then he was getting a lot of support from other comedians, though. You mentioned Dave Chappelle gave him a positive shout out. One of
freedom of speech, man. Like, you're not allowed to say shit if people don't agree with you. And you're definitely not allowed to say shit if you're, like, already condemned. That's it. Like, you know, it's no... fixing the world anymore it's not like going out and planting a tree or something, or like just doing something yourself to like change the world. It's like who are our enemies, and like finding like the faults in everyone else to go and hate. It's like it's like obviously he did a shitty thing, like that's why
well, as we talked about earlier, that's like I mean it's about as weak of an offense as possible. Like, I mean, a guy could force me to watch him jack off in front of me, and it might ruin my day, but I get over it, you know. I'm just like, hey, that sucked.
Yeah, I love Louis C.K. He can jack off in front of me.
I'm just saying.
like okay, you're weird, dude. You know, like
I'm just obviously, I'm just saying. Obviously, it's not something that people should be going around doing, but it could have been a lot worse. You know, is all I'm saying. You know, give the guy a little bit of a break. I don't think he deserves to be demonized over this. You know.
Yeah, it's like
perhaps some jail time might have.
Yeah, okay. It's a minor offense. Yeah, like at the most, it's like some jail time. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Does
he have to register as a sexual offender now?
For masturbation, I don't know.
Because you could be a sexual predator for pissing in public.
Yeah, which is really silly. You know, but
it's like the only one who saw me was you, officer.
Yeah, I was going behind the bush. Why did you come over here? Yeah. But yeah, I think he should have like possibly jail time. But I mean, like everyone deserves a second chance. You know what I'm saying? Like
definitely. Michael Chi was also backing him up recently, and he said, you know, Louis C.K. has the right to try to earn a living. He's already lost millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, and all that,
and sponsorships, and like he lost a lot of fans, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just let him try to, you know, redeem himself in a way, and get back on his feet, you know.
Yeah, because the thing is, you know, there's felons, 2-time felons, 3rd-time felons, you know, out there, like, and like, okay, like, so should they not be able to redeem themselves if they paid their due? You know what I mean? Like, aren't they supposed to be like, we're trying to like rehabilitate people to like go back into society to then be upstanding citizens? You know what I mean? So, right, just as a 2-time felon should at least has the right to go in and try to earn his keep. So like for Louis doing something so stupid and shameful. Like it wasn't as bad as like, whatever a 2-time felon did, so
True. Yeah.
and because like if you hold that over that like for the rest of life, then like what do they have left to do but then just go do more felonies?
Right.
Like,
No, I
like
feel
if
like
they can't eat because you don't let them work, then all right, it's just gonna create a cycle of worse abuse, worse problems. It just makes things worse, not better. We want to.
I'm pretty sure we'll all be laughing about this 5 years from now, and he'll be in some movie masturbating in front of a chick or something as a joke.
Yeah, I mean the people who don't need to like
stick with it, Louis. You'll be fine. You'll
the
get
people
back.
who don't need to look to like demonize everyone else to like prop themselves up with how good of a person they are, as if their shit don't stink too. Like I'm sure they've sinned in other ways. You know what I mean? But like, oh, I've never done that sin though. So like,
Right.
Louis so evil, but
At least I didn't do that.
so righteous. It's like, dude. Like we've all fucked up here and there. Like
We're all human. We're all flawed.
yeah. And like, yeah, no, I don't care how bad if Louis murdered someone, I'd want him to pay due for his crime, and and then once he does that, like no, because I want everyone to be saved, so.
Well, let's keep doing your comedy from prison, maybe get some new material out there.
I'd watch a prison comedy. Actually, oh, well, what's homie's name? Like my cousin's cousin is actually been like making like albums, like rap albums from his prison cell.
Huh.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to him on the next episode. I forget what his rap name is. But I shouted him out on Instagram the other day because like I heard some of his songs and like they're pretty banging, yo. Like I was like, damn, that's pretty good sound quality for in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in the real booth. And like, hey man, he's put a use to his time being creative, man. I dig it.
That's real. Like if there were more people doing something productive like that while they're in prison, I think that would help them out too, as far as being rehabilitated. Well,
yeah. Well, because I mean, the whole reason homies in prison, anyways, is really stupid. Like yeah, like he messed up somewhat, but like really, it was a whole bunch of other people too, and like he was kind of the fall guy. You know what I mean? So like
that sucks.
Like yeah, it was like he's a good dude, and yeah, I mean that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Someone must be blamed. So speaking of rap shouts though, check out my bro Doughphesh to Don's new album. It's called Music for the People. Yeah, he just released that. Well, by the time this episode comes out, a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's really fresh, and yeah,
they don't call him Doughphesh for no reason.
Yeah, word. Yeah, no, it's definitely his best album to date, in my opinion.
I'll check that out. I like some of his other songs too, so I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, like he comes really, yeah, just like high spirit minded on this. Really, he's really focused. You could tell. Oh, but actually, and I remembered a homie in prison who's doing his thing. So he goes by Cinatra, and it's Cinatra with the C. So yeah, you can find him at BG_Cinatra, and that's Sinatra with a C. So yeah, for y'all on Instagram, that's his handle. So go check him out. You can find his links there, I believe. Yeah, man, he's been like, you know, he doing the Instagram stories and yeah, just putting up stuff that he's been recording in the cell on there, and some of it's pretty hot, man.
It's awesome that he's still able to do that even from prison.
Yeah, and it's not on no like, you know, oh, I'm in prison like gangsta shit either. Like it's like it's like some high vibe shit, like some shit that you'd want to go and party with chicks too. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, girls get you dancing on, you know, fellas get you strut. Yeah, like it's some groove type shit. Like I'm like, what? Like I'm like, you know, God is with him. Like he's in prison and he's got good vibes like this. Like I was like, oh shit, dude, like I could party to this. You know what I'm saying? Like let's turn up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah. So speaking of though, you know, doing big things and hard situations and stuff. I want to end this one on a really courageous story. So, black activist and R&B singer Daryl Davis is doing some really courageous things. Just like, you know, I feel like really demonstrating Christ's love by turning the other cheek, because he's going and out and like helping all kinds of KKK members.
Mm-hmm.
And so recently, the dude Richard Preston, I believe his name is.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So Daryl Davis helped him out because Preston had shot the gun. He's the one who shot the gun at the Unite the Right meetup thing. And you know, instead of being like, oh, you know, burn that Nazi, da 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 da, he just showed real compassion and actually he was a character witness for him pretty much, and got his sentence reduced. Then ended up like helping out in his wedding, and you know,
in the story I read, they also went together to Washington D.C. to some sort of memorial for I don't remember if it was a black activist or what, but that was a big deal too. So.
Oh right, yeah. That's right. I did read that. Yeah, he took him to like a memorial and like taught him like a bunch of stuff about Black history and like
yeah,
and
he
basically
was the only guy there, and everybody was, you know, kind of talking shit, but he just stayed quiet and paid his respects. He was wearing a Confederate flag while he was in there though, which was part of what was causing problems, but it was like, hey, it's a part of history. Flag's a part of history. This is a part of, I'm here to learn about history. Like this all kind of ties together. I'm just here to learn more about this time in our country, sort of thing. But yeah, it wasn't like he showed up with the burning torch or anything like that. He just had a Confederate flag on his head. But
yeah,
he could have done without it. You could have worn regular clothes.
Yeah, he could have worn regular clothes to, you know, museum for Black history. So, but, you know, baby steps.
He's moving in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read that Daryl Davis has actually befriended over 200 KKK members, and most of them have left the KKK since becoming friends with him.
Yeah, so, like that's power right there. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you hate me? Oh, well, I love you. Let's be friends. And then, like, so much that like Like, you're gonna go from like wanting to kill me to like loving me and like being friends and like leaving the hateful organization. Like, I mean, come on, man. That's the power of love right there.
Yeah, that's strong. That's strength right there. That takes a lot.
Yeah, yeah. As a you know as a man of black skin, you know, as a human being man who happens to have black skin, that story meant a lot for me.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, just to
Just
be just to be kind and try to go out of your way to befriend somebody who hates you for any reason would be difficult. You know, like I don't even know how I would handle it if I had somebody who wanted me dead, and I, I I don't know if I could be friends with that guy.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that takes some true strength right there, and yeah, man, I mean, to me, like, that's a miraculous story right there.
That is pretty awesome. I'm glad you found that one.
Yeah,
That was
you
a
don't,
fun one.
yeah, you don't hear stuff like that very often,
Mhm.
and yeah, because like the thing is too, anyone can like show love to a person who already loves them, right? That's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the most hateful person could do that. Like if he's got that one person he loves, you know what I mean? Even
Mhm.
he can show love to that one person. But to like go out on a limb like that and show love to people who genuinely hate you, like, not
Yeah.
just like leave you mean comments on social media or like stick your head in a toilet or something, but like like burn a cross and like put a mask on and like leave notes that they're gonna kill your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that
And
kind of hate.
and not that, but once he starts trying to make friends with these KKK people, he's at risk of pissing off other black people for possibly misunderstanding, what he's trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's that too, or piss off other KKK members that he's
Yeah.
making leave their group.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
can have its repercussions.
Right.
But that just is more of a testament to this guy's power and the change that he's making.
Definitely.
So big, like big old salute to Daryl Davis for doing that.
For sure. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's making a difference right there.
that's some warrior shit right there, I think.
All right, so do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that story is a good note to leave on. So yeah, find your area of where you feel like you can be as courageous as Daryl Davis. Let's all learn a little from him and try to love our enemies that way.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not everybody's gonna have the opportunity to do what Daryl Davis did either,
Right.
but
Yeah, that's not me. Everyone find your own thing that
right.
felt
Any positive thing that you could do is better than any negative thing.
like. Word.
Yeah, you can go make a fool of yourself somewhere. You can do something for somebody else. Sometimes I choose to make a fool of myself, but
It's kind of fun sometimes. Sometimes I just don't know how to act. Yeah. But yeah, this has been episode 25. I'm Afia, and
I'm Steven. Hit up them charity miles.
Oh yeah, I got mine in today, and this has been Figure It Out.